All right, so what's going on, everyone? Not really going to be working on the C6, but we're going into a small little project of revisiting the fire extinguisher mount that I did. So for those that don't remember, a handful of videos back from my last track day, I went ahead and put in a element fire extinguisher in my car. So yes, there have been some comments on, is it actually going to do anything? The goal is to buy time to get the bigger fire extinguishers at the track to me. That being said, the way I mounted it was just with some flat bar that I picked up from Ace Hardware. Doesn't look the best, isn't the best, and stuff was just kind of roughed out. So let's go take a peek at what I've got, pull it out of the car, and then we'll go ahead and try to improve it. All right, so for those that don't remember, let's flip this up out of the way. But here we go. Just a single piece of flat bar steel, a couple holes drilled in it, and then a couple small holes for the actual mount. One thing I did notice, that where it actually is positioned, where it's actually positioned, if you can kind of look this way, as I'm getting in or doing stuff, my heels had a tendency to kind of hit it. Sorry, I'm not good with holding a camera and a light at the same time. So what I want to do is I want to be able to help it offset underneath the seat just a little bit more. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my 15/16, run those off real quick, and then we'll get it on the bench. All right, so here we have it. Pull this guy off. And again, this is a piece of just flat steel. Nothing special about it, just some rattle can black that I have laying around. But we know what we want to do. We know what we want to improve. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take my existing measurements that I have, my overall length, location of these holes, size of those holes, and then location of those holes. Then we'll go ahead and get to the computer and start making it better. All right, so we got that piece stripped down, got it measured, turned it into some chicken scratch, which I'll go back upstairs into the AC and kind of explain kind of what all these dimensions are. All right, so here we have our basic mount. So we've got 2 holes, 3/4 inch radius, 3/4 inch diameter, and then let's inspect that guy. Well, I don't want both of those. Sorry. Used to using AutoCAD or used to using SolidWorks. So Fusion is a bit different. Anyways, and then our mounting holes for our actual element clip, those are 200 thousandths, so 0.20, whatever metric size that corresponds to. And those are going to be centered on my midpoint of this this plate. And they're 1 5/8 apart. So 1.625. Similarly, back to inspect. These guys, 14 1/4, and because I pulled one on the bottom and one on the top, they're on the same plane, and they're on the same Y plane as well. Cool. So all that being said, this took all of about 40 seconds or so to make. But again, that's not quite what I want. What I want is this to actually come under the seat some. So it's actually going to want to have just show this real quick. This is actually going to come down a bit here, so you can kind of get the idea. Something like that. So instead of being straight across, this is actually going to jog downward to help move this actual piece in. Everything else is going to be largely the same. I am going to put a minor slotting on on this hole just to help make things line up easier. And again, this is effectively a washer for my seat mount. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and draw this the way I actually want it to be, and then we'll come back in. All right, so now this is roughly what I'm gonna have for the new bracket, or at least half of it. So zoom out a little bit. So as I mentioned, I wanted to have a little bit of an offset to help tuck this underneath the seat just a little bit more. I don't know what that right dimension is for it, but right now I've got it at 1.5 inches. Before I send it out to get made, I'll actually double check if that's going to be too far. But that's what I've got so far. So based on that, I can just go ahead and give everything a mirror. Mirrored about that line, and then boom. Definitely not the prettiest thing, especially now with all the constraints and dimensions popping everywhere, but I've got a very small slots, an 1/8 of an inch slot on this, I guess the seat mounting bolt hole, and then dear Lord, what in the world is... Wow. Anyways, it won't matter for the actual extrusion, but I didn't want to have a whole bunch of just this massive part. So just went ahead and dropped down, and then had to go back up for this one small section. Not sure if this is going to be the right decision to do or not, but I'm going to do it anyways. So, finish my sketch. I'm going to go ahead and extrude this up. I want to do both parts of it. And I'm going to go 85 thou. So, cool. That gives me this bracket. That's really about it. So I'm gonna go downstairs right now and see if that 1.5 inch offset is what I want. So that's basically gonna be... All right, so as you can see, we're back in the car, and it's a good thing that we came back out here to check. So I'm gonna try to show what's going on and see if we can make the right change. All right, so here's where it is as it stands, basically in line with these seat bolts. And you can see there's a little bit of protrusion, but if we look directly over top of the seat, it's really not that much. So as I'm looking down it right now, I don't want to go 1.5 inches back in. I want to go, honestly, probably only need to go about 1/2 inch in. Yeah. We'll split the difference and we'll only go 5/8. So let's go back up to the model. All right, so originally I had it drawn at 1.5 inches, recessed under the seat. That's way too much. Way too much. It's at 0 right now, and I think 1/2 inch will be fine. I don't know if a 3/4 inch offset will be too much. So I'm just going to change it and just go 5/8, so 0.625. Hopefully it should be easy and just a couple of revisions in the model. All right, so got the sketch open back up. This is the dimension that I need to change, but currently this 125 degrees, that might make things over-constrained if I move it, but let's give it a shot. So I'd said 5/8. Nope, perfect. Can't really see or read any of this, but all right, so now we've made our revisions and our updates to our part. Now it's time to just go ahead and get it uploaded into good old SendCutSend and see how the process is. Haven't used it before, so I'm gonna drag my STP or STEP file in. Cool, that looks about like what I had it. Yep, cool. Go metal. And honestly, I think I want to go with aluminum, or at least let's price it out. So I think for all this, I'm just going to stick with my aluminum, my 5052, and I'll go 90 thou. All right, cool. And move my face out of the way because I have two of these in the car for both seats. I'm just gonna go ahead and get two of them. Bending, no. Countersinking, no. Hardware insertion. Tapping, nope. Cool. Go to the next step, finishing. It'll come how it is, probably have some scale on it. Get it cleaned off, and then throw it in the car, basically. Add to cart. Woo! Cool. So honestly, this is a pretty fun, pretty intuitive little website. I'm definitely going to probably use it a lot more. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close the video off. All right, so things are ordered through SendCutSend. I did learn that there is a minimum order value, which is like $29. It's free shipping, cool. I can barely get the scrap material for me to make this myself, and then all the labor to do it, so it's fair. But because of that, I switched over from 90 thou aluminum up to 100 thou steel, so cold rolled steel. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the right choice or not, but the part that's underneath this bracket is aluminum, but I do have steel hardware that holds it all down. So I figured I'd just go with steel and spray paint it black just like the last. Anyways, that's done, and it'll ship sometime next week. All right, sorry about that. Thought I'd recorded an outro, didn't. But if you enjoyed this, please consider giving it a comment, a like, or something of that nature to help with the algorithm. And then in the coming weeks, we'll get back onto the actual C6 maintenance side of things. So we've got the water pump, we've got the harmonic balancer, we've got the oil cooler, and we've got some other miscellaneous things in there. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.